May I remind the members of this House that Her Majesty's government is no longer prepared to tolerate the environment.
Norman, may I say we're all so glad to have you back at last, fit and well.
Oh? Why?
Well, because now we can close the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Chernenko, we meet for peace talks.
Peace talks.
Right. We want a piece of Central America, a piece of Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Africa.
So do we.
Right. We're agreed. That was easy.
Edward, you are pathetic. How many A-levels have you got?
3.
And how many would you have if you had another one?
5.
You are an idiot. What are you?
Sorry, Wills. I've forgotten.
An idiot!
Idiot, yeah. But please, I'm begging you.
Why don't you do your own thesis?
Because I want to pass.
We'll discuss this later. Now, get out.
But Wills, please.
Get out! Yes, Dorothy?
Your father's here for his 2 o'clock appointment, sir.
Thank you, Dorothy. Send him in.
Would ask to see one, Wills.
Oh, Father, I've been expecting you.
I got away as soon as I could, Wills. You were right. It was a baby.
I thought I said no more additions.
I know, Wills, but I don't know how it happened.
It happened, Father, because you and Trendy Wendy played Mr. Wobbly Hides' helmet again, didn't you?
But Wills, that was months ago.
I'm not prepared to share my limelight with some jodel-back-eared little brat.
But it's too late now, Wills.
When will I be able to play with him?
That's the spirit, Wills. Soon. Very soon indeed. I'm sure you'll like Harry.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be just wild about Harry. And Harry will be wild about me.
You know, there's been a great deal of talk about economics, but the fact is this. You can't measure things like this in terms of economics. What we're talking about here is the total destruction of an entire local community, which I, for one, am not prepared to see happen, whatever the cost of the taxpayer. I'm sure that
Bloody hell, lads! We won!
Oh, don't be daft, boyo. She's talking about the Falklands.
I've got it. I've got it. I can get rid of all my letters again. Ha! Q, H, H, A, 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 G, F, F, E, A, Y, X.
What's that meant to be, your esteemed derangedness?
Gaddafi. Oh, not again. Look it up. Go on, look it up.
Well, you win again, your magnificent out-to-lunchness.
Well, that has put me in a good mood. So, who are we going to kill today?
A country which, of course, we all know is full of silly yellow bastards.
away Clive James. I thought I only Clive James show. No, God also call piggy-eyed fat Australian.
Well, now a look ahead to programmes tonight on BBC One. At 7 p.m, highlights of the Embassy World Snooker Championships, which is followed by cricket, including the Benson & Hedges Cup Final and highlights of the Cornhill Test. In Match of the Day at 10:15, action from the Cannon League and the Milk Cup fifth-round replays. And finally, in Profile, BBC Chairman Stuart Young explains why he'll never accept advertising of any kind. Well, you might as well be watching ITV, really.
In our lead studio, we have Mr. Edward Smith, one of the worst victims of picket line violence. Now, Mr. Smith, am I right in saying that yesterday you were savagely beaten up by striking miners?
Oh, it were terrible. Or about 100 yards from pit gates when one of them shouted, "There's the one," and they chased me.
The violent, rioting hordes of demented, rampaging yobbos?
Yes. They caught me up and set about me with meat cleavers. Then one of them started up a chainsaw and cut my leg off. I got up and tried to hop up to the phone box. Then one of them pulled out a blowtorch and burnt my other leg off. It were terrible. I bounced away as fast as I could, but one of them produced a length of cheese wire and garroted off both my arms.
And did they say, "This is what we do to scab bastards because they're all completely mad"?
Well, not exactly.
But they were clearly thinking that.
Yeah. One of them got out a samurai sword and cut me torso in two.
Then they ate it?
Yes. They said it was the first bit of meat they'd had for months.
Have you heard from the coal board?
Oh, yes. I got a nice letter off Mr. McGregor this morning telling me not to worry, there will be a job for me when my headache gets better, and seeing as I won't be needing me pit boots anymore, could I hand them back in?
And how is your poor wife, who was very ill anyway, taking it all? I think whoever did this to me wants locking up. I agree, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
But what do you say to the ludicrous and insane allegations from the NUM that you are no more than a remote-controlled model made by biased ITN staff designed to stir up further hatred against striking miners and their families?
Yeah, well, they would say that, wouldn't they? Oh, I get so angry sometimes with those unfounded allegations.
Yes, because Mr. Peter Walker is a callous, raving fascist who
just wants to see miners and their families starving.
Well, we'll need to release a statement to the press. Well, what about this latest incident has deeply angered us all? No, David Owen said he was angered.
OK, we are stunned by this outrage.
Nice. No, Steele was stunned. We need to be more than stunned. We're really, 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 really stunned?
How about, quite frankly, we're completely and totally gobsmacked?
No, that's what the Pope said.
All right. How about we are so saddened by this incident, we want to put on our sou'westers and do a little dance?
No, wait. I've got it.
No, it's gone.
What did Reagan say?
It won't affect the sale of pastrami, will it, Ed?
What about Kinnock?
He was angered, stunned, gobsmacked, and more concerned for pastrami sales than anyone.
I know what to do.
Yes?
What about we don't say anything at all, we just do an impression of an elephant being fried in butter?
That's very good, I like that.
This outrage has outraged us all outrageously.
Well, that's the one for me.
How about there is no cover-up?
Well, there isn't this time.
Oh, right. We'll just confuse people if we say there's no cover-up when there really isn't one.
There might be a cover-up. Okay.
Don't be so damn wet. Just find out what Mitterrand said and disagree with him.
Two German officers crossed the Rhine, rendezvous. Two German officers crossed the
Yes, the Rugby Players Songbook from the Festival of Light Orchestra.
The line were reasonably blessed to the women and didn't drink very much wine. Inky, pinky, parlez-vous. 420 virgins came down from Inverness, and when the ball was over, they went back to Inverness as virgins.
Rugby songs as you have never heard them before.
If I was the marrying kind, which thank the Lord I'm not, sir, the kind of girl that I would wed. Yeah, a sensible girl, who didn't believe in divorce before marriage.
Including that evergreen ballad.
On the good ship Venus, by God you should have seen us. The figurehead was very nice indeed, and all the crew were very nice too.
Now at last the whole family can enjoy rugby songs without thinking of anything dangly, wobbly or hairy. Lovely.
Evening, dear. I'm home.
Hello, dear.
Busy day?
Yes, I made a very important speech in the Commons, which went down rather well with the PM, actually.
Hey, what did you say?
Well, it was rather a short speech on economic policy, as it happens, and I rather think I had the opposition on the hop.
Really? What did you say?
Well, the PM was talking, in a bit of trouble, to tell you the truth, and I got up and let him have it, just like that.
What did you say?
Here, here.
You said that? Well done, Poppet.
Now look, Leon. What's all this about Kenneth Baker switching off that poor man's life support machine?
Well, Prime Minister, quite honestly, he was very smelly and simple-minded.
But Leon, all our support comes from the simple-minded. Now make sure he's switched on again before the next general election.
Yes, of course, Prime Minister.
And now, here's Rubber News, read by Alistair Burnett.
Good evening. The Prime Minister has again denied that the government has been storing chemical weapons. Her next task is to find the source of the cabinet leak, which has turned Michael Heseltine's legs purple. Show business? And Mrs. Mike Yarwood has spoken out again about her marriage split. She said that while she could live with Harold Wilson at the breakfast table, Albert Steptoe in the kitchen, and Ronald Reagan in the bath, she was damned if she would have Mike Yarwood in the bedroom. The clowning rabbi has promised he will never again try to make anyone laugh. He joins the Little and Large show tomorrow. South Africa? And nearing the end of his trip, Senator Edward Kennedy has told reporters that the sickening poverty, oppression, and despair is something he'll remember for the rest of his week. Now sport, and we go over to Stoke-on-Trent for the winning dart of the World Darts Championship.
180!
There's always a way. I always get what I want eventually. I don't give in easily. I said this would be a long campaign, and it was.
And finally, the man whose name will be forever associated with Australian soap operas has died at his home in Sunderland. Mr. Total Mindless Banal Crap leaves a wife and 4 children.
Well, they seem to be getting on a lot better than they did last week.
Welcome back to Sporting Image. And now it's over to Brands Hatch for the football.
Spico Italiano. Italian for English football exiles.
Hello.
Hello.
Bosso.
The boss.
Chicco.
To kick.
Ballo.
The ball.
Nodo.
To nod.
Kevo.
To Kevin.
Chicco ballo.
To tackle painfully.
Golo.
A goal.
Rolo.
A chocolate.
Nobo.
A poor player.
Bastardo.
The ref.
Dago.
Nightfall. An Italian greeting. A fair tackle when the bastardo's not looking.
La noce di Figaro e Pericolo sporgersi.
Goodbye.
Oh, not another bloody crop failure.
And days gone by, when a cow broke wind, there wasn't much you could do about it. But now, thanks to modern science, we are able to capture every single cow body belch, seal it, preserve it in airtight bags, and sell it to you. Roasted peanuts, fresh and fragrant as the day they were laid.
Here's another good one, Neil. Here's another good one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Scargill.
I'm not in.
Wide Open Holidays 85 present a full range to suit all tastes. Club 13 to 20. Sex, booze, vomit. A holiday you won't remember. Go out with the club, come back in it. Club Celibate. Guaranteed no sex. We lock you in your room at night. Lots of booze and vomit with no obligation to shag anything that moves. Club 100 to 140. Again, no obligation to shag anything that moves. Club Fingers Down Your Throat. Cut out the middleman. Get straight on with the business. Or if you're really way out, Club Normal. Take your partner, screw someone you know. Wide Open Holidays. There's something for everyone and most of it's covered in puke.
And a cheery good morning to you, my loved one. And what do we see before us? Yes, we see a boiled egg before us, no less. You may like it or you may not. I, for one, do not. And what do we do with the boiled egg? We do this, you see. We pick the boiled egg up before us like this, you see. Then we take the cups like this and we turn the cups upside down. See if you can spot which one it's under. And alas, we have made a mess of the tablecloth, no less. But not to worry, we'll soon fix that.
That's the problem with our relationship.
Yes, my loved one, the magic's gone out of it.
Dear Claire, she writes, isn't that smashing? Dear Claire, I am an extremely fat person. I have hundreds of chins, no waistline, 2 huge tits, and a totally enormous and gargantuan bum. I'm absolutely gross, I really am. Are you, dear? Are you really? Are you? She goes on. I always speak to people in a terribly condescending and patronising manner. Do you, dear? Do you really, do you? And I drive everybody crackers by calling them dear and saying, do you, dear? Do you? Every time they tell me something. Do you, dear? Do you really? Do you? What can I do? Well, dear, I know you won't believe this, but there was a time when I was just like you. Yes, really, I was just like you. You may not think so, but I was, honestly. But I still find my lovely smashing hubby Des. And he'd tell you himself, but he can't at the moment because I'm sitting on him, aren't I, love? But now for our first phone-in caller on today's programme. Hello, lovey. And what's your problem?
Well, Claire, I'm trying to start the next programme and there's this huge, great fat woman taking up half the screen.
Well, lovey, just push her out of the way. Go on. Give her a big push. Will you do that, love? Will you ring me up and tell me when you've done it, will you, lovey? Go on. That's it.
Evening. And indeed, evenings, good, bad, or indifferent, or not, are the subject of my next rather clever link. Not a cuff link, but a cough link. Later on, we'll be looking at the new releases, Stacey Keach and George Best. And why not? That, in a sense, is what they're there for. But now, briskly, or rapidly, whichever you prefer, on to the subject of our location report, the new Dustin Hoffman movie, The Lettuce, in which Hoffman plays, or is, the title role. Dustin, tell us something about the film, but more importantly, pretend we're very good friends.
Barry, without giving too much away, something happens, then something else happens, and then the movie finishes.
Could you be forced to perhaps give a little more away, Dustin? Dust?
Well, I played a part of a carrot who wants to star in a salad, but he can't, so he has to disguise himself as a lettuce.
How long does it take you to become the lettuce, Dust, old buddy?
Well, it takes 12 hours to get the lettuce on and 12 hours to take it off again.
Dustin, 100-year-old man, a woman, and now a lettuce. What next?
Well, my next major role is as a dog fart. I've already started preparing. I've spent all my free time up a dog sphincter to try and get the mood and motivation right.
Is it unpleasant?
It is for the dog.
Charles, are you awake, yeah?
Charles, are you awake? Yeah.
Well, I am now.
1, 2, 2.5. Call it 3. I'm afraid it's still only 3, Mr. Reagan.
Is that low for a sperm count, Doc?
Well, I am now.
It's just, I thought I heard one of the dogs barking, okay?
It's just, I thought I heard one of the dogs barking. Okay.
Shall I go and have a look?
Shall I go and have a look?
No, it seems to have stopped now. Good night, Charles.
Oh.
Oh, Mumsy, can I go out now?
No. Until you learn to stay out of trouble, you're staying where I put you. Oh, and for goodness sake, stop biting your nails. Ow! Stupid little turd.
Good night, Charles.
Diana, darling, I suppose a cuddly-wuddly's out of the question.
Not tonight, Charles. I'm too tired.
Charles, that awful pomp and circumcised record again.
Charles, turn that row down. You'll wake your mother's intruders. What's going on? There's nothing going on in my room.
I say, you fellas, cut the row. I'm trying to get my thesis done, okay?
Hey, look, everyone. Sounds like it's a party at Chuck's place. Get the booze and let's go.
Look, what are you doing? You can't just come in here.
Charles, you should show some respect. I'm more famous than you.
I wonder if there's any more of that cold tiramisu latte left in the fridge.
I'm trying to get some sleep. Now that we're all awake, can anyone spell thesis?
You want to spell feces? You disgusting boy. You can't put that in your exam paper.
Daddy, you know what I mean.
I don't want anyone puking up on the bed. Do you understand?
Oh, my God! Oh, what's that ticking noise?
It's my pacemaker.
Will you turn it off so I can get some sleep? That's better.